Everything that God made was wonderful because He is wonderful, and He loved everything that He made. One of the angels that God made was particularly splendid. His name was Lucifer, and he was more beautiful than any of the other angels. He was covered with jewels and gold. He was so beautiful that he was called the bright morning star. God loved Lucifer and gave him his heart. He gave him special jobs to do, put Lucifer in charge of great and important things. But Lucifer was jealous of God. He wanted all the angels to shout for him too. And Lucifer was jealous of God's children. God had made them just like him. They were God's favourite. But Lucifer wanted to be like God too. He didn't want anyone else to be more important to God than he was. In fact, Lucifer thought that he was so beautiful that he should be as great and as important as God. Lucifer persuaded lots of the other angels that God's children, human beings, shouldn't be the favourites. He convinced them that he should be just as important as God. They decided they didn't care about God's heart anymore. They wanted things their own way, and they tried to take over heaven. But God always wins because He is the greatest. His angels were beautiful and powerful, but God was gazillions of times more powerful. Because these angels had rejected God, they were thrown out of heaven. Lucifer lost all of the beauty that he had been given. He lost his special jobs and special position. He even lost his name. And he became very, very angry. He hated God and he wanted to spoil everything that God had made as a way of trying to hurt God's heart. He decided to become God's enemy, and the name for that is Satan. The other angels that had been thrown out of heaven with him also hated God. They became God's enemies too. God was sad. This was not what he wanted. He had made everything perfectly, and he had made all things wonderful. But now things were not perfect. There were still countless angels that loved God and wanted to have his heart. And then there were his children, his favourites. God could still share his love and his heart with them. And his plan was that no matter how much trouble the angry angels made, he would always fix things. And when God fixes things, he always makes them better than they were before they were broken. In time, he would deal with the angry angels once and for all. And he would make all things wonderful and beautiful again, but he would make them even more wonderful and even more beautiful than they had ever been.